to take care of His Holiness Bhakti Vinod Swami Maharaj.
Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you, Mataji, for the great speech. Our next speaker is His Holiness Bhakti Vinod Swami Maharaj. Let's give a huge Gauranga to welcome him. Gauranga!
Gauranga!
So, Maharaj has been in ISKCON since 1980. He was initiated in 1980 and he got sannyas initiation in 2009 as part of Guru Maharaj's 60th Vyasa Puja celebrations. Maharaj has been a deputy GBC. He's been as part of the SPT outreach chair and the chairman of the South India Divisional Council. And he is very actively involved in temple constructions and developments, especially in Tamil Nadu and Kerala. And he also serves in South India as a zonal secretary along with His Holiness Jayapataka Swami Maharaj and Guru Maharaj and His Holiness Manaswami Maharaj. So let's welcome His Holiness Bhakti Vinod Swami Maharaj. Ki Jai. His Holiness Bhakti Vinod Swami Maharaj, Guru Maharajin மூத்த சன்னியாச சிஷ்யர்களில் ஒருவர். அவர் 1980 இனிஷியேஷன் தீக்ஷா இனிஷியேஷன் வாங்கியிருக்கிறார். 2009 சன்னியாஸ் இனிஷியேஷன் வாங்கியிருக்கிறார். அவர் தென்னிந்திய பிரிவு சபையில் தலைவராக பொறுப்பேற்றிருக்கிறார். அவர் தற்போது தென்னிந்திய மண்டல தலைவராகவும் பொறுப்பேற்றிருக்கிறார். அவர் கோவில் கட்டுவதிலும் வளர்ப்பதிலும் மிக முக்கிய பங்கு வகிக்கிறார். பொதுவாக தமிழ்நாடு கேரளா மாநிலங்கள் இரு மாநிலங்களிலும் பல மிக முக்கிய பொறுப்புகள் வகித்துள்ளார். இஸ்கானில் மகாராஜை நாம் ஒரு பலத்த கௌரங்காவுடன் வரவேற்போம். கௌரங்கா.
ओम ज्ञानतिमिरन्दस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः. नमा ओं विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामिनिति नामिने. नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषशून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे. जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभो नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधार शिवासादि गौरभक्तवृंदा. हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे. हरि बोल. हरे कृष्णा. Can you show the presentation? Oh yeah. So I've got very less time. I have just been told you have only 20 minutes, 25 minutes. And within that, translation also has to occur. So I'll try my best to crunch this whole important topic within a short time. அதாவது நான் தமிழ்லையும் பேசலாம்னு நினச்சேன். எனக்கு தெரிஞ்ச தமிழ் அது என் தமிழ், சென் தமிழ் கிடையாது. பட் அந்த மாதிரி தமிழ் இப்போ சாந்த ரூபினி மாதாஜி ரொம்ப நல்லா பேசினாங்க, தமிழ்லாம் சொன்னாங்க. பட் நான் என்னுடைய தமிழில் பேசலாம், பட் இட் வில் பிகம் டூ லாங். ஸோ கடைசியில் சமரைசேஷன் சங்கர்ஷன் கௌரவ பிரபு பண்ணுவார். நடுவில் என்ன எப்போல்லாம் முடியுமோ அப்போல்லாம் நான் தமிழ்லையும் கொஞ்சம் ஃபியூ தமிழ் செகண்ட்ஸ் வில் பி தேர் இன் தி இங்கிலீஷ். ஓகே. So this is an important topic which I do as a big workshop, but I'm trying to take some important points from that. Iniki kalambra His Holiness Jayapataka Swami Maharaj, Guru Maharaj was telling about the importance of reading Prabhupada's books. So I want you to see carefully. I am just going to make some effort to show you from my own experience. I also work with the BBT and produce Prabhupada's books in Malayalam language for many years. I love Prabhupada's books. I read them, I print them, publish them, distribute them, study them, teach them. We try to do all these things. My understanding is that we are having Sankirtan governance of the books, by the books, for the books of Prabhupada. Those who know, if you've studied in your younger days in school, you know democracy is defined as of the people, by the people, for the people. In our society, actually, books are so paramount importance. And Prabhupada himself has said that many times. So I'm just going to give you a quick review and show you that there are many things in this whole thing about Prabhupada's books. And some of these things I want to touch upon. That is, why do we read Prabhupada's books? How to read? What happens if you don't read? And how we should actually affirm a reading principle. These are some of the things that I'll try to do shortly. Why do we read Prabhupada's books? Maybe some of you can quickly tell me. Why are you reading Prabhupada's books? How many of you are reading Prabhupada's books regularly? Hare Krishna. Why do you read Prabhupada's books regularly? Why do you read Prabhupada's book? Yeah. If you want to go to the spiritual world, you must read his book. Very good. What else? Authentic. They are authentic. They are as it is. And therefore you should read. Scream. I want to know what Krishna wants me to do. Great. Yes, we all have all these reasons. Prabhupada specifically. And I want you to tell an instance. A disciple of Prabhupada came to Prabhupada sitting on the table, like you see in that picture, and came and told him, Prabhupada, Bhakti Vinod Thakur is my #1 favorite author. He came and told Prabhupada. And Prabhupada just looked at him from behind his glass like this and just kept doing what he's doing. Then he went talking and again he said, Prabhupada, I want to tell you that Bhaktivinoda Thakur's books I like very much. He is my favorite author. Prabhupada took his specs and kept down and looked at him and said, Bhaktivinoda Thakur is your second favorite author. This you'll read in the, Satsarup Maharaja's Prabhupada Nectar. Prabhupada didn't tell him anything more. He told him, Bhaktivinoda Thakur is your second favorite author. He didn't have to explain who is the first one and all. That is the extent to which Prabhupada made a comment on reading his books. What does that mean? You don't have to read Bhaktivinoda Thakur's books. I have explained everything in my book about Bhaktivinoda Thakur. First, read my book. First, you read my book. That much importance he gave to his books. Actually, the most important thing is because he asked us to do so. We should read because he asked us to do. He is I heard Shanti Rupa Mataji explaining how Prabhupada is a Siksha Guru. I want to add to that. And said Prabhupada called himself the founder Acharya. He insisted that you write my name there under ISKCON as Founder Acharya, International Society for Krishna Consciousness. Foundational Guru. Foundational Siksha Guru. He gave the teachings, he gave the books, he gave the practice, he gave the institution, he gave the whole idea of the absolute truth and how to approach, how to get to the absolute truth, Krishna, how to get love of Krishna. Everything he gave. So he's like the foundational Siksha Guru. And if you want to become spiritually oriented, get Krishna Bhakti, go back to Godhead, like many of you said, you must read Prabhupada's books. Must read. Okay? So there are many reasons people give. Whenever I ask them, they said, in the Chaitanya Charitamrita it is mentioned there that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is saying that this material world is a deadly fort. அதாவது இந்த உலகம் ஒரு பெரிய ஜெயில் மாதிரி. இதுல இருந்து யாருக்கும் வெளியில வர முடியாது. It is not possible to get out of this prison. Therefore, Krishna takes mercy on conditioned souls and he gives us Shastra. That is the way to get out, by reading Shastra. பகவான் இந்த கட்டுண்ட ஆத்மாக்களுடைய நிலைமையை பார்த்து சங்கடப்பட்டு அவங்களுக்கு தயா காமிக்கிறதுக்காக அவர் சாஸ்திரம் கொடுக்குறாரு, வைதீக சாஸ்திரம். சம்டைம்ஸ் அவரே பகவத்கீதை பேசுறாரு. He is giving a shastra, Vedaisya sarve rahameva vedyah vedanta krit vedavid evachaham. And he himself comes and speaks Bhagavad Gita because he wants to help you to get out. That is the reason why we should read Prabhupada's books. In modern times, in the present age, that is explained beautifully by Prabhupada. So, that's another reason why we should read. I'll move ahead. Why you should read? Quote from Prabhupada. How can I please you? A disciple asked. Prabhupada said, you may please me the most by reading my books, following the instructions therein. Reading books does not stop with reading. Reading means you should also follow what you read. We read for that. Here is another quote. With these examinations, Bhakti Vaibhav, Bhakti Shastri, Bhakti Sarvabhauma, Bhakti Vedanta, I wish to encourage all my disciples to very carefully learn this philosophy of Krishna consciousness, because there is so many preachers who will be required to bring this message to all of the corners of the earth. This morning we saw Guru Maharaj mentioning that. Kone kone mein, all corners of the earth. Prabhupada saying, you must therefore learn. If you want to learn Krishna consciousness philosophy, you should read from Prabhupada's books. The next one, I am stressing this point that all of my students shall be very much conversant with the philosophy of Krishna consciousness, and that they should read our books very diligently, at least 1 or 2 hours daily, and try to understand the subject matter from varieties of angles. How many hours daily? 2 hours daily. Yeah, 1 or 2 hours minimum. Here's another very interesting quote. If you want to stay in Krishna consciousness, you will have to develop firm faith in Guru and Shastra. Therefore, you must study my books very scrutinizingly. Follow the 4 regulative principles very strictly and chant 16 rounds daily, avoiding the 10 offenses. Don't take this movement as something cheap. It's meant for serious people. And serious people read Prabhupada's books. Very important to know. So Prabhupada himself said something about his own books. One of the most interesting quote of his is the one in the last. Do you know that I read my books every day? Have you heard about this? Prabhupada is saying he reads his books every day. Do you know I read my books every day? I learn something new every time I read. Do you know why? Because I did not write these books. Every time I sat down to write, Krishna appeared and dictated to me what to write. So I am not writing. Krishna is writing. Conversation with Tamal Krishna Goswami and another devotee. Can you believe this? He said, I did not write, Krishna wrote. In another place he said, he sat on my shoulder, Krishna sat on my shoulder and dictated to me, I wrote. Here you can see this quote. Krishna is perfect. He said, here on top, sometimes I become surprised how I have written this. Although I am the writer, still sometimes I am surprised how these things have come. Such vivid description. Where is such literature throughout the whole world? It is all Krishna's mercy. Every line is perfect. Prabhupada, it looks like he's praising his own book. He's the author. Will any author speak good about his own books like this? Why? Because he's saying, I did not write it. And therefore I will read it and I will glorify it. But on the page you will see Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, author, written on every. Isn't this amazing? It's a very amazing comment. Prabhupada commenting on his own book. And here Prabhupada is saying, Gurudas watched Srila Prabhupada laughing while reading his Krishna book. Gurudas, Prabhupada, you are laughing at your own books. Srila Prabhupada, I did not write these books. Krishna wrote them. Krishna sat here. Prabhupada pointed to his shoulder. He wrote them. Srila Prabhupada ki. This is why you should read Prabhupada's books. This is Prabhupada talking about his own books. And he's not talking like a great proud author. He's very humble in making these statements. And he's reading his own books. This is a very important reason why you should read Prabhupada's books. What happens if you don't read Prabhupada's books? Question to you. What happens if you don't read Prabhupada's books? You must have experienced it if you are a serious reader. If you're not a serious reader, of course you'll be wondering, why are you asking this question? I'm used to not reading Prabhupada's books. But I'm sure all of you are serious. What happens if you don't read Prabhupada's books? Raise your hand. You will fall down. You will come into the modes of ignorance. What else? Nobody wants to answer these questions. You will become sentimental. I mean, you're already mental, you'll become sentimental. Next, you said something? You will simply forget Krishna. Yeah. Very easily we will deviate. Yeah, so many crazy things will happen to you. We will be manipulated by somebody else. Yes. You can't go to Goloka. See, my God. Yeah. This is a quote from Chaitanya Charitamrita. Ye leela vina amrita yadi khaya annapane tabe bhaktere durlabha jivana are ek bindu pane utfulita tanumane hase gaya koraye nartana. Men become strong and stout by eating sufficient grains. But the devotee who simply eats ordinary grains but does not taste the transcendental pastimes of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Krishna gradually becomes weak and falls down from the transcendental position. However, if one drinks but a drop of the nectar of Krishna's pastimes, his body and mind begin to bloom and he begins to laugh, sing and dance. Who wants to laugh, sing and dance? Nitai Gaura Premanande. Then you must read Prabhupada's books. That's what's mentioned here. If you only eat prasadam every day, it's not good enough, it's mentioning here. It's very clearly mentioning here, it's not enough. Yadi annapane. It's not good enough. You must ara ek bindu pani utfulita tanumane. If you eat one drop, drink one drop of this books of Prabhupada, you will become hase gaya koraye narta. You become so happy you'll start dancing and chanting. How many of you have experienced this? Yeah, plenty of you have experienced that. Who will not do it? Foolish. Look at the purport Prabhupada gives to that, very short purport and very powerful. All the devotees connected with the Krishna consciousness movement must read all the books that have been translated, the Chaitanya Charitamrita, Srimad Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita and others. Otherwise, after some time, they will simply eat, sleep and fall down from their position. Thus, they will miss the opportunity to attain an eternal blissful life of transcendental pleasure. Full stop. That's all. Purport. 2 sentences. You'll simply eat, sleep and fall down if you don't read Prabhupada's books. Sorry, I'm speaking so many negative things to you. But this is all spoken by Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, along with the very positive things he also spoke about reading his books. So, how many of you are taking a vow to read Prabhupada's books every day today here? Nitai Gaura Premanande. So important. So since the time is short, I'm just extracting some very important points, highlighting them to you. How to read Srila Prabhupada's books is something in everybody's mind. I mean, sometimes people come and ask, how to read? Some of them have got PhD, some of them are academically very good. You know, how to read Prabhupada's books? I just tell them, simply read. Open it and read. But there are some problems people have in reading Prabhupada's books. Here is an extract from different books of Prabhupada and conversations and lectures on how you should read. Picked up from the internet, from Vani Media, on 3 categories: frequency and the mood and the method. This is all from Prabhupada's books. In frequency, he's saying you must read again and again. You must read always. You must read as much as possible. You must read as soon as you get time. At least 1 hour daily, at least 1 or 2 hours daily, at least 3 hours a day. Constantly, continuously, daily, in small installments, more and more, once, twice, thrice, one after another, over and over, reading 24 hours. Regularly, repeatedly, da 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 da. All these are extracted. If you want to know about frequency, it's the limit. You said 24 hours a day, you can read. Then you look at the mood in which you read. So it's all from Prabhupada's books, conversations and lectures. As it is spoken by Krishna, adeptly, attentively, carefully, critically, deeply, devotedly, diligently, expertly, faithfully, you name it, profusely, thoughtfully, with adherence, with due care. All this extracted from Prabhupada's conversations. How to read his books. What mood you should have. Method. From all angles of vision. From different lights of directions. From every point of view. From varieties of angles. Inspecting the subject matter for all angles of approach and savoring the new understandings. To understand the subject matter from different angles by discussing them with the cooperation of your God brothers and sisters, with the help of other devotees, with the help of your senior God brothers and sisters, minutely, scientifically, scrutinizingly, step by step, cautiously, thoroughly. You want anything more? These are all the instructions of Prabhupada on how you should read his books. I don't think you need anything more. Everything is covered in this. That's what Prabhupada has mentioned. Here is a quote. In my books, the philosophy of Krishna consciousness is explained fully. So if there is anything which you do not understand, then you simply have to read again and again. By reading daily, the knowledge will be revealed to you. You may please me the most by reading my books and following the instructions therein. So many times people say it's very difficult to understand. Prabhupada is saying, chant your japa nicely, read again. Again and again, you will understand. It's not that you don't understand Prabhupada's books, therefore I don't read. What's the instruction given here? If you don't understand, read it again and again. You will understand. You will understand. This is very important to note. Sometimes people think that I don't understand. Go to the next one. I don't have this slide on my computer. By the way, I don't have this slide. I'll read it. Each and every shloka should be very, very scrutinizingly understood. That should be the first business in the temples. Of all these books, we have got so many books. Simply if you make arrangement for selling, not for understanding, then it will be simply materialistic. Both things must go on. Don't become just a great book distributor who doesn't read Prabhupada's books. Prabhupada said, my only complaint about my disciples is they sell my books but don't read them. He made a complaint. So here is Prabhupada telling, you must scrutinizingly read every shloka. This is the business of all the temples, all the leaders, and all the gurus. I normally tell, it's not coming on the screen. When? I don't see it. My slide is not coming on the screen. Unless you have some divine eyes, I'm not able to see. The next one. So there's some hint on how to read from my own experience. I tell devotees to just read through the books once. You get the thrill of reading and getting to know overall what is there. And in the next round of reading, you should study. What do you do to the newspaper and magazine? Do you study it? You read it. What do you do to your textbooks in your schools, in your colleges and everything that you have to do? Do you read it? You study it. Why? Because you have to write an exam. Now you understand why Prabhupada said you must write an exam, Bhakti Shastri, Bhakti Vaibhav. Why? What did he want you to do? Study it. So you study it and you note down some important realization. Wow, this is very good. And you note it down. This is a new thing I learned. You note it down. You also write your realization about it. In this way you make your own notes. Unfortunately, nowadays many people have got their notes published. So many devotees don't even read Prabhupada's book, then read only the notes so that they can write the exam. But that's not the way Prabhupada wanted it. He wanted you to read his books first. You can make your own notes. Later, if you want, you can check it with somebody else's notes. Read. Make notes. Write your realizations. You will be excited about it. There is, like Prabhupada is saying, Krishna has written them. If you read Prabhupada's books, you encounter and meet with Prabhupada in his books. You have his association. Then Prabhupada is saying, you will meet Krishna page by page. That is the potential of these books. You can meet Krishna in the pages of the Bhagavatam. Prabhupada said, there is a quote. If you seriously read it. So these are all the things that I mentioned. The Prabhupada's books is not just an ordinary book. It's a Krishna conscious experience. You're going to experience Krishna in it. Written by a very pure devotee who's claiming, I did not write the books, it's Krishna who wrote it. Right? So reading Prabhupada's books is not like reading any book. It's an experience. It's a Krishna conscious experience. You meet with Prabhupada, you have association of Prabhupada, you meet with Krishna. This is Prabhupada's words. So don't think that when he said read my books, it's like say your academic teacher telling you read, write the exam. It's not of that type. Don't read also for the sake of writing the exam. Different types of reading. Next one. Different types of reading. Some people read because it's part of my sadhana to read. I have been told to read. I will read every day half an hour in the morning. Reading, open the book. Shri Dadrashra Vacha Dharma Kshetre Kurukshetre Samaveta Yuyutsavaha Mamaka Pandavaja half an hour over. Sadhana over. Just like we do chanting also like that. Some people read for sadhana only. Some people actually want to study. They want to know what is happening, what's mentioned inside here. Some people read only when they have to talk. Hey, today is Bhakti Vriksha, I am supposed to speak. I have to read something up somewhere. So I read whenever I have a program. I read whenever I have a program. Many of you are very silent and putting your head down. Because you read only when you're on the stage, for the sake of being on the stage. Preparation for a talk. Some read because I'm so interested in, after chanting japa, I sit down and read and I get so many wonderful realizations. I like that experience. I simply allocate time for reading and sit down and read and enjoy Prabhupada's books. I just love it. I don't want anything else. There may be other reasons you have. But like I told you, it's an experience. Please fall in love with reading Prabhupada's books. Develop the taste, the ruchi. Your life is safe. You just have to develop the taste for it. So, what are the challenges to reading Prabhupada's books? Name some of them. What are the challenge? I don't have time. I don't have time, somebody said? Yeah. What challenge do you have? Yes, Mataji. You also don't have time. Distraction, plenty. World of distractions. The social media, somebody calls you up and, this is attractive, that is attractive, so many things. Yeah, distractions, very great challenge. What else? And laziness. Oh, that can be dealt with. We start to read, you go to sleep. There's something in Prabhupada's books. It's a sleeping pill. You want to sleep? Go read Prabhupada's books. Huh? Yeah, no taste. I don't have taste. I said ruchi. It comes after indulging in Prabhupada's books for some time. Then only you get taste. You get taste for something which is bad and not good for your health and other things because you kept doing it. Similarly, if you keep reading Prabhupada's books, you will develop ruchi, taste, over a period of time. So, no tasting is also possible to cure. It's not very difficult. If you have weak sadhana, you will not be excited about reading books. If you have a strong sadhana, you'll like reading books, and because you read books, you'll have a strong sadhana. It's a loop. Because you read nicely, deeply, you'll chant deeply, you'll do your sadhana very nicely. It's very closely linked. Right? Sometimes we need company nowadays. You need a buddy, a reading buddy. Somebody also reads with you. And I think a lot of groups online are reading together. Amazing. Many, many groups are reading together. That's very nice. So in this way we have many challenges. But I think we should work with some affirmations. Affirm. Why do I read Prabhupada's books? What does it give me? Every day, just like you have some japa affirmations, you can also have reading affirmations. By reading, what do I get? 1, 2, 3, 4, I've written some reasons from your own experience. If you affirm yourself every day with these affirmations, then maybe you can put yourself to reading. Here is a quote to Prabhupada. I am requesting all of my students to read my books very seriously every day without fail. In this way, if your mind becomes absorbed at least 1 or 2 hours daily in the transcendental subject matter of Srimad Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita and other books, then very easily you will make your advancement in Krishna consciousness. Very simple. Very simple instruction. We can follow this. Right? So, I will close here after giving you a little brief history about books, book publishing, book reading, and preaching and book distribution. I'm going to recollect with you a history, Indian history, Mughal period. There is Babur, Humayun, Akbar, Jahangir, da. The rule of the Lodi dynasty started in 1451. Interesting history. That's when the Lodi dynasty started ruling, Persian invasions. And then the Mughal rule starts with Babur in 1526. Babur, everybody knows now in India. So, at the location of the famous place. 1526 means Lord Chaitanya was here at that time. From 1486 to 1534 is Lord Chaitanya's period. 8 years before Lord Chaitanya left this planet, Babur had started ruling India. Lord Chaitanya was also present when the Mughals started ruling India. And then, in between, this is Lord Chaitanya's period, 1486 he came. Then you'll see 1534, Lord Chaitanya disappeared at the time of Humayun. And I'm just recollecting some interesting history, Lord Chaitanya's disappearance. And then you have Jiva Goswami, the second generation. Jiva Goswami and his disciples, Srinivasa Acharya, Shamananda Pandit, Narottam, and his disciples. And he brought out an amazing thing. It's Jiva Goswami who took all the books, you know the great story. The king of Berhampur, he brought it from Vrindavan to Bengal, to Berhampur. And Jiva Goswami's assignment to his disciples was this. So they brought it very carefully. And they were given guards. They brought it on a bullock cart or something. It came all the way, preserving the writings of all the Goswamis and everybody. They brought it very carefully. Our books has got a history. When you see Prabhupada's books spread all over the place, everywhere now, it was very rare those days. There was no printing press, nothing. There was only one copy of it. And you had to sit and make copies of it by sitting and writing. Lord Chaitanya made copies of the Brahma Samhita, which he found in South India, in Tiruvattar. He had it copied. There was no press at that time. So you can imagine the writings had to be preserved. Jiva Goswami preserved them, brought it in a big cart with guards and everything provided by the king. And in Behrampur, they relaxed because they thought this is Bengal, Lord Chaitanya's place. We have crossed the border. But unfortunately, the king of Behrampur stole all the books. Because an astrologer told him that this cart that is coming is not like the other. It's the richest goods that you'll ever get. So he went and stole it. And then he found that, hey, yaar, what, full of some manuscripts and writings. What lousy wealth this is. But actually it was the richest thing. And there's a whole wonderful story about how Narottam visited the king, and he took part in some Bhagavatam session, and he spoke there, and the king liked what he spoke. And then he asked him to come to the palace, and he heard Narottam crying in the night and praying to Krishna, whatever happened to my books? What will I tell my Guru Jiva Goswami? How will I be able to answer him? What a huge loss. He was crying the whole night. And then he heard and said, oh, these are your books. Because he was a dacoit by night and a king on the daytime. A special profession he had. It's not that only those days it was there, even these days it's happening. So he went to Narottam and said, don't worry, I think this is what this is what you're looking for. And then Narottam became so excited that Krishna is protected. And then actually the king became Narottam's disciple. And then his whole kingdom became disciples of Narottam. And a huge thing happened. And he distributed those books, copied them and distributed them. First book distribution happened then. Nitai Guru Premanande. Distribution of these literatures, these wonderful teachings happened. That is the second generation. Then 300, 400 years pass. All sorts of apasampradayas come up in the name of Lord Chaitanya. And there is Bhakti Vinod Thakur. The British rule, India struggle for freedom, so many things happening. And there is Bhakti Vinod Thakur who appears in the third generation, 1838 to 1914. Then you have his son Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, who took the printing press and called it Brihat Mridanga and published and distributed books. And then came Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, took it to the other limit. He took it all over the world and distributed these books in so many languages. Nitai Gaura Premanande. So much pains he took to write these books day and night. And then to preserve them, to publish them. And, distribute them. So you have Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavad all over the world in so many languages by the effort of Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. His desire is that you will read these books. They are not simply for distribution. They are not simply for publishing and making money. They are meant for bringing a revolution in the empire's lives of people. It's mentioned about Janataga Viplavo Yasmin Pratishlokam Abaddavatyapi. Even though there are some faults in it, it will create a revolution. That's why we read, we teach, we distribute, we do everything with Prabhupada's books, and they are very, very important to us. So, you are the next generation. And there are Prabhupada's disciples disappearing from this planet. And we should carry this legacy of publishing, distributing, and making people read and appreciating it. Only if they do that, book distribution will happen. And if book distribution happens, there will be book publishing. So reading, getting a taste for Prabhupada's books, is very important because the potential is there. Prabhupada's books, like I said, are not ordinary. Prabhupada said anybody who even touches these books, reads one letter, one word, his spiritual life will start. So, please understand what it means when we say, can you change the slide? I have gone much ahead, yeah. What it means when you say, holding a book of Prabhupada in your hand, reading it, understanding it, talking about it to others, making them read it, distributing these books. This is the greatest human welfare that you can ever do. This is the greatest service that you can ever do to Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada and the entire parampara. So this is what I wanted to tell you. The first generation, the second generation, and the third generation. Many of you are in the fourth generation. So I want this message to go deeply to all of you. In the morning, His Holiness Jayapataka Swami Maharaj Gurudev was speaking about this very deeply. And he wanted all of us to read, digest, and share these wonderful books with everybody else. I will stop here because I think he needs to do a Tamil summary, which is going to be very challenging. Hare Krishna. Thank you. It's exactly 6:45. He told me till 6:45.
So Maharaj, we have cancelled the Tamil translation. We have cancelled it already, so we have the next agenda ready. No, we have another slot. Yeah.
Okay. Haribol, thank you. Hare Krishna.
Thank you very much, Maharaj. Thank you for being here with us. And thank you for taking us through. And yes, we all have to read Srila Prabhupada's books. It's very important. And let's, as Maharaj said, get into a habit of reading and documenting what we read. Encourage each other in reading. Over to you for the next session. In the next 20 minutes or so, we shall have Guru Maharaj coming to be with us to make his address. But before that, we have a nice session that will be introduced.
Hare Krishna. One big Gauranga for His Holiness Bhaktivinoda Swami Maharaj. Gauranga.